Morning, everyone. Just a quick announcement on behalf of Lotus Outreach, and happy Sadhana, everybody. And so this morning we have a fundraising table for Lotus Outreach International, Lotus Outreach, and our local NGO White Lotus Trust up in the dining area after the teaching. Okay, so there are some miniature furnishings on sale that are being brought very kindly from Taiwan by Stella and the Yo family. And also, if anybody wants to talk about, like every year we do some bike rides around the world, right, to raise funds. So it's a great way for the young people to get involved, for children in schools. Parents can work with their kids to have a bike ride to do a fundraiser for Lotus Outreach. Or I also wanted to add that the Indian Sangha can be very helpful to us, not just with respect to donating to White Lotus Trust here in India, but also putting us in touch with corporate social responsibility funding. So if you know anybody, or you're connected to anybody, usually that kind of funding happens when you know people, you're connected to people, and that's how you kind of get involved with those things. So it's very important to us, and it will help us do a tremendous amount of work here in India and expand that work as well. Thanks very much. Okay, so just want to confirm that it's after the morning session. After the morning session!
Dude, I'm like, so I'm shipping away. Yes, these two when there was a culture, you add to the next level. It was like, I would say India's most intelligent people are sitting there. Naresh Mathur. So Naresh Mathur did not open it. He did. He was the boss.
गन्धजलपूतां पुष्पयुक्तां भुवं मेरुचतुर्द्विपार्केन्दुभूषितां बुद्धक्षेत्रत्वेनेमयामि यतः सर्वसत्त्व शुद्धक्षेत्रे रमन्ताम् इदं गुरुरत्नमण्डलकं निर्यातयामि. Requesting Rinpoche to join the Vedic Dharma. सामान्यनाथहीनेन यानेन महतापि वा सत्त्वरुचि बुद्धिभिन्नं धर्मचक्रविधीयताम्.
Okay, just because sadhana does have this element of dzogchen, upana, karma. I thought just to have few words, but the upanakrama practice is actually, upanakrama is very big. I would say it's much vast and deeper than, Sampana Krama. It's much vast and deeper than Upanakrama. But for some, because of that, probably Tantrikas also tend to, not only, the Sampanakrama practice is also very abstract at times, and obviously because it's much more inner, even though Sampanakrama does have like Chenche is like a elaboration, I guess. Sampanakrama that has like characteristics or elaboration, sort of more like a tangible thing. The big part of the Sampana grammar is no elaboration. And I guess you can sort of generally say practices known as Mahamudra or Mahasanti falls into this later one. Although exclusive Mahasanti people may disagree a little bit, but we don't need to know this for now. I'm just saying this to save my own skin, because there's Nyingma scholars can be very vicious. They said, how dare you say this? Which I also have a sympathy, because, especially nowadays, whatever you say, it gets recorded and it gets uploaded up in the sky, and then down the line, people may end up quoting. And then I also have a lot of fanatics, not a lot, there are enough Taliban following me, who also has a lot of influence to others. And after 50 years, they may end up creating a new religion. This is very possible. So I always have to say this. Anyway, Sampana Krama, I think I've already talked to you about the most tangible vessel. Vessel is a good word, I think. Since we just came out from Longchenpa's Nyingti Gyapshi, he has some amazing words like gongja. Gong is gonga, like the egg, and ja is the net. So, see, pay some attention to this one, especially for the Nyingma tradition upholders. Gosum gongja tiyang shakma shik. This is what Longchenpa said. He said that there are three. Basically what he's saying is there are three shells, like an eggshell. And it's such a beautiful analogy. The eggshell is very fragile, but at the same time so intact. It's just so nicely kind of, oval shape, all of that. So, there's no, it's just perfect, but it's very fragile. And it's a shell, the eggshell. Okay, I'm talking about eggshell. So, according to Longchenpa, he would see that actually all three, body, speech, and mind, are three layers of eggshell. This is a slightly sort of exclusive Mahasandhi people talking, especially with the statement of saying mind as a shell. But we are not going to go there now. This is so academic. But it's important. especially if you want to pay attention to Mahasandhi study in the future. So anyway, the most tangible shell, the form that we have, but also think that we, because it's very tangible and relatable, this is also what drives us. Probably, at least on the outskirts, it drives us the most. The dietary system, the fashion, photography, I don't know, all the art, whatever. It's in that department, but it's a shell wrapping what? The thing I was telling you, the the cognizance, the luminous mind, luminosity, the union of emptiness and luminosity. This is difficult. Anyway, then there's another shell inside. That's the speech of the prana, all of that. That shell for ordinary people is probably we don't relate obviously too much. I mean, we do actually, but it's not obvious. But actually, it's much more vicious. I think we talked about this. So, Dzogchen, Sampana, Karma practice relate a lot with this. Okay, and then the third shell is the toughest one, the mind shell. Yeah, that one we need to go through the sadhana of Mahamudra, or I don't know whether I should even call it sadhana, but path of Mahasandhi and so on and so forth. Okay, so Sampana Grama, that has elaboration. I would say most of the sadhanas that we do, will always have a little bit of that. At the end, I think I've already said yesterday, dissolution of everything, the whole universe or the whole field into, the lotus dissolving into you, all that, all the way up to the nadi, and nadi also dissolving. So that's, you can sort of say, it has also, of course, the part of the effortless or non-elaboration part of the Sampana Karma. But yeah, because at the end, the goal is you reach the non-elaboration. Sorry, so many jargon, so many terms, but you have to bear with. But to make it more understandable, it's always like looking at the reflection of your face or the moon in the lake. As you see, as you look, you will always get swayed by its appearance, swayed, hijacked, trapped. And that's when you get swayed, and that's when you begin to become eternalist, or I don't know, some another form of extremist. You get swayed by the appearance of the intact, beautiful, setting is so beautiful, the lake, no cloud, maybe some willow trees nearby. I don't know, all of that. Or reflection of your face in the mirror, so intact, so you get swayed by the appearance. On the other hand, all along, the reflection of the moon is not there. Anyway, so when there's an intact appearance, in order to defeat that kind of, challenge of eternally, that challenge that that takes you to eternalism, we practice upanakarama. That's what, well, generally speaking. All along, the reflection of the moon is not there. And this is the thing. But this is what is being used as a quintessential part of the Sampanakrama. There are times that we get swayed by non-existence also. A lot of, things that makes us nihilist, such as Shakyamuni Buddha. He came, but he's no more here. Nihilism. Yesterday it came, it's no more here. It's a very strong. Generally, Buddhism, especially in the Tantra, it's not really that it's no more here, the yesterday. Same thing. Even the future. Most of us think it's not yet here, therefore it's not there. Nihilism. In fact, so a lot of us, what do we have? We have this and now. This sometimes we think exists, eternalist. But if you are a real Tantrika, past, present, future, this is just like a reflection of the moon. Equally, present is no more real than the past and the future. So this is sort of the philosophy or the principle of the Sampanikrama. But Sampanakrama, as I said, is very big. For instance, like what do you call it? Sampanakrama that involves fabrication, meaning fabrication or elaboration, I should say, elaboration. It deals a lot with things that are sort of half tangible. And do you know what that is? Prana. Of course, the most sort of most true prana is not the air that we breathe in and out. This is just the most regurgitated, most gross thing that is going in and out, the air. But this will do. There's so many examples. There's so many good statements on this. It's like if you have lost your elephant and you search and you found elephant dung or a footprint, you should be as happy as finding the elephant, because now you can follow the track and most likely you will find the elephant. Likewise, the air that is going in and out from your mouth, nostril, whatever, those are like the footprints, the traces of the inner prana. So there is a very, very elaborated practice. Mainly, you will hear these teachings if you hear like Tummo, like a Kundalini, and anyway, because so there are few, heat that is generated through prana, Tummo, and then another one, a big one. This is a really, really big one, is the dream. Because that is just amazingly tangible and untangible together. And it really, really can pull the rug out of your feet. It's so real, but at the same time, it's ridiculously not real. I already said yesterday, 5 minutes nap, 10 years of, life, you can dream. So what is that? And it in fact has an impact on your awakened life, right? Like you could be sweating, you could be shouting, nightmare and so on and so forth. Then the big one, another big one, is the bardo. Bardo, which is, I think we sort of touched that subject a little bit, but actually, and I kind of bypassed during the Kundalini, it also involves, there's also something so big, which is, Kundalini has something to do with the bliss. Bliss, and we are talking about especially the bliss that is aroused but through, rubbing or whatever, union. That is also so tangible, extreme, ecstasy, climax, so on and so forth. But it is also absolutely not there. I mean, if it is there, certain industry would have trapped it and packaged it, and we would all be buying it every day. But it's there, but it's not there. The bliss, the climax. So this is very much in the dream. And then sometimes there's also something called Julu, the illusory body, which is a kind of a it really makes you, it digs a lot of, what do you call it, it dismantles things that glues together our form, feeling, perception, karmic formation, and create these seemingly solid, organized aggregates, skandhas. So amazing, I don't know, for some reason, the Juli, the illusory body, seems to be not really much in the list of the practitioners, but they are that. So these are just sort of a list of sampana krama that you can practice, the sampana krama with elaboration. Then sampana krama that has no elaboration. That is basically, you can say, the highest practice, which is basically there's no visualization, there's no mantra, there's no light coming and going. It's nothing actually. But at the same time, you don't let go, or you don't let yourself entangled by thoughts. Yes, it may sound like the standard vipassana that we have in the world, but it's also not really like that. It is much more than the vipassana of. Basically, it really bringing closer to the truth. It's amazing. I have met Burmese monks. If you ask me where this monk is, I don't know, because these guys don't have address, they have no phone. Just happened to meet in Mandalay in a coffee shop. It really, ordinary coffee shop. He happened to be the only one who spoke English, and he wasn't even really willing to talk to me because he had better things to do. but just so inspiring because the guy has been doing a lot of vipassana. And it's like the way he look at just generally the world and especially the body, like our body, his mind is so trained and sort of conditioned to see his body in parts. We don't see it like that, right? We only see our body as in one unit. He doesn't see it. This is so powerful. That alone will do it. That alone, just think about it. If you see your body as in parts, how you will shop, how you will build your house, how you will, everything will change. And how you relate to others also. So I'm giving you this as an example. If you see the world in the Dharmakaya, altogether different experience. Okay, this is today. I will continue later. There's a few more things we will talk, but this early morning today is a very special day, as you know. I have two things to ask you to participate, rain or shine. Is that okay? Doesn't matter. We can always use towels. First, I'm going to invite Ajahn Shivako to lead us with a refuge ceremony and maybe some sitting. Because that is, no matter who you are, this is the fundamental, this is the root. And then after that, I'm asking, I forgot to ask his name, a Russian friend to recite Manjushri Namasangiti, a part of the Manjushri Namasangiti in Sanskrit. I just thought it's kind of amazing that some other people from this land also recite a very special text such as Manjushri Namasangiti in Sanskrit. So that's what we are going to do. Okay? So please. Thank you so much. Are you okay?
No problem. I think we might have a storm rolling in on us, but let's see what happens.
What did you do? So we won't stop, okay?
Just
Even
keep-
if it rains.
Just go.
Is that okay?
Sure, yeah. That's the Komitan style.
Maybe you better cover the camera. We are not going to move.
Okay, good morning, everybody. It's amazing what a shift of just 15 feet does to perception. Sitting here, everyone focused on Rinpoche, and now there's these faces looking at my subjectivity. So, quite a shift. Anyhow, I've been invited to do what we would do in say the Theravadan school, or say in the monasteries. Especially today, being Visakha Puja. So this is the day, and as everybody is probably well aware of, that we celebrate the birth of the Buddha, as well as the day of his liberation, enlightenment, and also the day of his parinibbana, so his final passing. At our temple, say I've lived for a few years in Thailand, so this would be a big day for people to come. It's basically like the Christmas for us Westerners, kind of the Christmas of the year. So yeah, lots of people would come to the temple. And part of the day would be usually starts out by somebody, say, asking for or requesting the refuges, which is Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, as well as the 5 precepts. Sometimes the 8 precepts, if folks are going to actually stay within the monastery, because what happens is we're going to probably do now, rain or shine, people will sit and actually practice all day and all night in the monasteries. This is a way that we can offer, say, our gratitude for the teachings of the Buddha and recollect, say, the historical figure of of this kind of so-called religion now. And so yes, so Praveen. So normally what happens, it's like I'm not telling you like, okay, this is what to do. It generally comes from the lay people who want to request it. They're asking for it. It's not like, okay, now you're here, I'm telling you what to do. It's almost like the opposite. The same with the Dhamma teaching. We don't talk about Dhamma or teach Dhamma unless we're invited and asked, because otherwise we just turn into evangelical kind of, people that just want to say, spread the good word. So we generally just do our thing. And if we're invited or asked questions or asked to teach, this is normally done in a more formal way. So Praveen is prepared, or I hope he's prepared, to kind of like say lead the ceremony in regards to say asking for the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts. So the idea is it's like a follow along. I say things and then you say things. It's really up to you to do it or not. If maybe you have aversion to it, see the aversion in your mind. If you're inspired by it, see the inspiration in the mind. These are all transient conditions, so we can use anything for our practice. And even if we're having, say, thoughts about why is this Theravadan monk here at the Vajrayana ceremonies and all this, like, see that as well, right? See that as well. All right, so Praveen, please do as you see fit.
ओकासा अहम भन्ते रसनेन सह पंचशीलं धम्मं याचामि अनुगं कत्वा शीलं देतमे भन्ते द्वितीयम्पे ओकासा अहम भन्ते रसनेन सह पंचशीलं धम्मं याचामि अनुगं कत्वा शीलं देतमे भन्ते तृतीयम्पे ओकासा अहम भन्ते तृष्णेन सह पंचशीलं धम्मं याचामि अनुगं कत्वा शीलं देतमे भन्ते.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Aham bhante.
No, 3 times.
Namo, everybody can repeat with me. I mean, you can join me. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi bhutang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Ti sarana gamanang nititang.
Aham hante
Panatipata veramani.
pananti pata veramani.
Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept
I undertake the precept
to refrain from taking the life
to refrain from taking the life
from any living creature.
from any living creature.
Adhina dhana veramani.
Adina dana veramani.
Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept
I undertake the precept
to refrain from taking that which is not given.
again not given.
Kamesu michachara.
Kamesu michachara.
Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept
I undertake the precept
to refrain from sexual misconduct.
from sexual misconduct.
Musawada veramani.
Musavada veramani.
Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept
I undertake the precept
to refrain from lying.
to refrain from lying.
Sura meraya majja pamadatana
Sura mera majja pamadatana.
veramani.
Veramani.
Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept
I undertake the precept
to refrain from consuming
to refrain from consuming
intoxicating drink and drugs
intoxicating drinks
which lead to carelessness.
which lead to carelessness.
Imani pancha sikkhapadhani silena sukating yanti silena boga sampada silena niputing yanti tasama silang visodhye. So these are the 5 precepts. They are for the arising of happiness, wealth, peacefulness. May you have them guide your hearts.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. As per the tradition, we need to bow down also. Where you are sitting, you can just bow down.
And so I think we'll kind of lead ourselves into a period of meditation. And also this can be a period too, just reflecting on the qualities of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So of course, as we've been hearing from Rinpoche, we have, say, the method, and then we have the wisdom. So we can see the triple gem in this way as far as a convention. So we have the Buddha, for example, the historical being who we have a pretty good sense that walked around on the planet about 2,600 years ago, and from his life, from his practice, we now have this culture, we have this tradition and religion of Buddhism. And so maybe when in our own minds, when we think of the word Buddha, perhaps it brings up an image of statues or golden figures or deities and whatever. So this could all be seen as, say, the conventional way of holding, say, the refuge of the Buddha. And in a similar way, the Dhamma, too, the teachings which we still have, almost by a miracle, actually, that we still have it 2,600 years ago, a wealth of information of the teachings from, okay.
of the Buddha. And so even in this modern day with technology and hearing about all the translations which are happening, available literally in our pocket, we have the entire, say, Buddhist teachings, or what we have, we have volumes and volumes and volumes of the Buddhist teachings in all the traditions, or most of the traditions, in our pockets on these devices. And then also the convention of the Sangha, the fourfold assembly, say the monks, the nuns, the laymen, and the lay women. But I'd also offer, while we do this period of meditation, to use the triple gem also as a tool for reflection. So the Buddha, this would be, obviously this wasn't his name was Siddhartha Gautama, but the Buddha being the awakened one, the one who is like the awakened mind. And so this is, say, in Thailand, we even use the word Bhutto as, say, a mantra. And so this can be used, say, as a recollection of the historical Buddha, but it's also pointing to that very awareness that we're, say, using in our conventional meditation practices, say, with our techniques and all these, again, these methods that we're doing, whether it's a Theravada method, a Vajrayana method, or whatever. There's that awareness and that awakened consciousness. And in the same way, the awakened consciousness is that which recognizes the Dhamma. And Dhamma here meaning the reality, the nature of things. So as the Buddha even said, if one sees the Buddha, one sees the Dhamma. If you see the Dhamma, you see the Buddha. So clearly this is pointed to something beyond. It's not like we're going to meditate and when we see the Dhamma, we're going to see, Buddha, not that he would dance around, but, kind of waving to us like, okay, you found me. This is what I look like. Yeah, probably not your groundbreaking insight. I'm sorry. And then also the third aspect of this, and again, the conventional use of the word Sangha, but also reflecting on the human potential. We actually have the same potential to recognize this awakened consciousness, and we have the potential to see the Dhamma, to see reality as it is. And this is the great blessing which happened, say, in Saranath, when the Buddha first taught. It's that actually somebody understood him. So with all the miracles that we can hear about in Buddhism, say monks and nuns flying or walking through walls or doing this and doing that, this seemed all quite secondary to the Buddha. However, the miracle of teaching, the fact that he was able to articulate such a refined, subtle state or realization, and then able to articulate it in a, again, fairly simple way, and for somebody else to actually understand it and recognize it for themselves. So that's just my offering of ways that we can use Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha as, say, a conventional refuge, but also a way that we can hold it in our minds and in our hearts. So that's quite a lot of talking from me in this moment when I'm supposed to be doing some meditation. So let's get into it. Let's get ourselves into a comfortable posture. And if you feel comfortable doing so, go ahead and close your eyes. We can also just start by taking 3 deep breaths, say inhaling fully and deeply through the nose, exhaling slowly through the mouth. And just using the breath as a way to help the body settle in. And we'll also notice the consequences. The mind also settles with just a few things like simple deep breathing. We can just allow our breath to just be normal and natural. Let go of any efforts of doing special kinds of breathing. And just bring your awareness to the experience of the body actually just sitting here. Perhaps most noticeable by the sensations. we can bring our awareness to our face. Noticing the feeling around the eye sockets, allowing the eyes to soften and relax. Also noticing that the visual field continues even though our eyes are closed. There's still a screen, there's still an experience happening with the visual field. And we can bring our attention to the jaw. And again, noticing if we're holding any tension, allowing the jaw to relax. And then again, feeling the whole body as it sits, see the sensation of the pressure of our sit bones. Feeling the weight of the body. Perhaps even using our awareness to, say, focusing on the posture. Say if we're slouching, or again, if we're feeling any tension in the body. Again, allowing awareness to suggest the body to relax. We can also, say, open our minds to, or say, focus on the sounds which we're hearing at the moment. Also recognizing the perception of distance. Say, hearing the voices in the nearby village, the chirping of the birds, the gentle rumble of the thunder. We may also be able to notice, say, the rising and falling of the breathing. We don't necessarily have to use a certain spot. Just noticing where the mind goes when I say notice the breathing. And as many of you likely know, the breath is a very common used object in the practice of meditation, say for anchoring the mind in the present moment. Because as we see after 10 seconds or 45 seconds or 2 minutes, the mind has a tendency to drift off into speculation, or we drift off into this conversation which we seem to have with ourselves, the voice in the head which talks to us. Or that perception that we are talking in our heads. We may also have images or memories arise in our field of consciousness. And we may become interested in these memories. Memories can even invoke emotional states, maybe regrets of the past, or say longing for a time which slipped through our fingers, seemingly. Or the mind may be experiencing, say, the opposite direction of this illusion of linear time, of the future. Say, anticipations of what's going to happen next. What's for lunch? Where am I going next? When will this be over? When will the bell ring? So we use the body, say, as a foundation, or again an anchor, because the body can only be here now. In fact, the mind is also only here now. However, with the mind's slippery tendencies, it's easy to get caught into distractions, proliferations, whereas using the body, whether it's the posture, awareness of sensations, awareness of the breath, these are ways that we can train ourselves to create the habit of using the body as a point of reference. And as this, say, develops more, our mind becomes more familiar with, say, returning to the present moment, you can find that the mind can become quite steady and quite calm, almost as if it comes into focus like a microscope or a telescope. And we're able to, say, look at the nature of reality with a, say, clearer lens. You can use the 3 characteristics which the Buddha encouraged. Say the most noticeable is the changing nature of our experience. The very obvious changing nature of, say, sounds. The changing nature of feelings in the body. perhaps now that we've sat a few minutes, there's different sensations arising in the legs or the back. And we can begin to notice the perspective that all of these things are happening in the same place. We're hearing sounds of, say, the thunder. We're feeling the sensations in your right leg. You might be aware of smells in the visual field, and also our mental world, say the images, again, or the commentaries. These are all arising in the same field. But one could ask, does the feeling in my knee hear the sound of the crow? And so as we go through our senses in this way, we can notice that there's this seemingly sense of a subject, say, experiencing these things. I can hear the noises. I can feel my body. I can think these thoughts. But just recognizing this very, very, very simple truth, that there's actually awareness here. There's an experience of being a subject. And this is a very convincing illusion because we function conventionally from this perspective. There's a me in here experiencing the world out there. However, we can explore this sense of subjectivity and try to find where this I or this self resides. If one has a verbal answer to this, we can also recognize that that's also just a thought. It's just a sankhara. We can be aware of the thought, oh, I'm here, or I'm that, or I'm this. But again, that's just another thought which arises and ceases. So this is one of the reasons the Buddha encouraged us to investigate our experience, investigate the khandhas with the view of anatta. Is the body a self? Are feelings a self? Perceptions, thought formations, sense consciousness. Does the self reside in any of these khandhas? So just for the next, say, 2 or 3 minutes, I'll stop talking. We can just all appreciate some quiet, silent time. Do with your mind as you see fit. So as we draw closer to the end of this very brief period of meditation, perhaps one could bring up in one's mind, say, the image or the thought of one of our teachers, whether it be the Buddha himself or any of our, say, spiritual guides, teachers who have helped us along the way. And bring up a quality of gratitude. Gratitude for how this individual, or say these individuals, have supported us in our lives, especially our spiritual lives. And really try to bring an image of them in your mind's eye, as if they were standing in front of you. And perhaps we're there with, say, an offering, a gift for our teacher. And also seeing the gladness on their face, knowing that you're benefiting yourself and others through what they taught you. This is the best gift that we can give to a teacher, is to actually practice what it is they taught us. And when we also say recognize the fruits of these practices for ourselves, then our gratitude is basically automatic. As we progress on our paths, as we work towards, say, liberation, we'll always be grateful for those who have helped us along the way. We can also be grateful for the rain gods for holding off the storm just a few minutes for us to have this short period of time together. Yeah.
ॐ वज्रतीक्ष्ण दुःखच्छेद प्रज्ञा ज्ञानमूर्तये ज्ञानकाय वागीश्वररपचनाय ते नमः। समत ज्ञानम् इष्टार्थसाधकः परः सर्वापायविशोधकः सर्वसत्त्वोत्तमो नाथः सर्वसत्त्वप्रमोचकः क्लेशसंग्रासमुहरैकः अज्ञानरिपुदर्पः धीशृङ्गारद्धरः श्रीमन् वीरभीभत्सरूपधृक् बाहुदण्डशताक्षेपपदनिक्षेपनर्तनः श्रीमच्छतभुज भोगगगनभोगनर्तनः एकपादतलाक्रान्तमहीमन्दतले स्थितः ब्रह्मण्डशिखराक्रान्तपादङ्गुष्ठनखे स्थितः एकर्थो द्वयधर्मर्थः परमर्थो विनश्वरः नानाविज्ञातरूपार्थश्चित्तविज्ञानसन्ततिः अशेषभवतरतिः शून्यतरतिरघरधीः भवरघध्यतीतश्च भवत्रयमहारतिः शुद्धः शुभ्रभ्रध्वलः शरच्चन्द्रांशुसुप्रभः बालर्कमण्डलच्छायो महाराघनखप्रभः इन्द्रनीलग्रसच्चिरो महानीलकचाग्रधृक् महामणिमयूखः श्रीबुद्धनिर्वाणभूषणः लोकधातुशताकम्पि हृद्दिपादमहाक्रमः महास्मृतिधरस्तत्त्वश्चतुः स्मृतिसमाधिरात् बोध्यङ्गकुसुमामोदस्तथागतगुणोदधिः अष्टाङ्गमार्गनयवित् सम्यक् संबुद्धमार्गवित् सर्वसत्त्वमहासङ्गो निःसङ्गो गगनोपमः सर्वसत्त्वमनोजातः सर्वसत्त्वमनोजवः सर्वसत्त्वेन्द्रियर्थाज्ञः सर्वसत्त्वमनोहरः Panchaskandhatattvajna Panchaskandavisuddhadrik Sarvaniryanakodistha Sarvaniryanako Sarvaniryanamārgastha Sarvaniryanadeshakah Dvadashan Gadbhavotkato Dvadashakarashuddhadrik Chatuh Satyanayakara Ashtajnanavabodhadrik Dvadashakara Satyartha Shodashakara Tattvavid Vim Satyakara Sambodhir Vibuddha Sarvavid Paraha Ameya Buddha Nirmanakaya Koti Vibhavakaha Sarvakshana Visamayah Sarvachittakshanatavid Nana Nayopaya Jagadartha Vibhavakaha Yana Tritaya Nirhyata Ekayana Phalistitaha Klesha Dhatu Vishuddhatma Karma Dhatu Kshayankaraha Ogho Datti Samuttirno Yoga Kantara Niharstaha Kleshokpaklesho Samklesha Suprahina Savasanaha Prajnopaya Mahakaruna Amogha Jagadattakat Sarvasamjna Prahinatho Vijnanatho Nirodhadrik Sarvasattvamano Vishaya Sarvasattvamano Gatihi Sarvasattvamanontahtattachittasamatangataha Sarvasattvamanohladi Sarvasattvamanoratihi Siddhanto Vibramapeta Sarvabhranti Vivarjitaha Nihsaumdig Distriyartah Sarvarthastrigunaatmakaha Panchaskandhartastrikalah Sarvakshana Vibhavakaha Ekakshana Visambuddha Sarva Buddha Svabhavadrik Anangakaya Kayagriya Kaya Koti Vibhavakaha Ashesha Rupa Sandarshi Aratnake Turmahamani Iti Samatajnana Gatah Chaturvimshati Krityanusthana Jnanam Sarvasambhuddha bodhavyo Buddha bodhiranuttaraha Anaksharo mantra yonir Mahamantra kulatrayaha Sarva mantrartha janako Mahabindura Panchaksharo mahashunyo Bindushunya Shadaksharaha Sarvakaro Nirakara Shodashadharda Bindudrik Akalah Kalanaditash Chaturtha Dhyana Kotitrik Sarvaniryanaka Vijna Samadhikula Gotravid Samadhikaya Kayagriya Sarvasambhoga Kayarat Nirmanakaya Kayagriyo Buddha Nirvana Vamshadrik Dashadik Vishvanirmano Yatha Vajjagadartakar Devati Devo Devendrah Surendro Danavadipaha Amarindrah Suraguru Pramathah Pramateshvaraha Uttirna Bhavakantara Ekah Shasta Jagadguru Prakyata Dashadiglo Kadharmadhana Patirmahan Maitri Somnas Hasamnadda Karuna Varma Varmitaha Prajna Khadgadanurbanah Klesha Jnanaranam Jaha Mararir Marajit Virashchatur Mara Bhayantakar Sarva Maraka Mujeta Sambuddho Lokanayakaha Vanjah Pujyo Bhivajyaschama Yascha Nityashaha Archaniyatamo Manyo Namasyah Paramo Guruhu Trilokyaikkakramagatir Vyoma Pariyanta Vikramaha Traividyah Shrotriyah Putah Shadabhijnah Shadanusmritihi Bodhisattvo Mahasattvo Lokatito Mahardikaha Prajnaparamita Nishtah Prajnatattvatvamagataha Atmavid Paravit Sarvah Sarviyo Hyagra Pudgalaha सर्वोपमामतिक्रान्तो ज्ञेयो ज्ञानदीपः परः धर्मदानपतिश्रेष्ठश्चतुर्मुद्रार्थदेशकः पर्युपाश्यतमो जगतं निर्यानत्रययायिनं परमार्थविशुद्धश्रीस्त्रैलोक्यशुभगो महान् सर्वसम्पत्करः श्रीमन् मञ्जुश्री श्रीमतम्बरः इति कृत्यानुष्ठानज्ञानगातः पञ्चतथागतस्तुति नमस्ते वरदा वज्राग्र्यभूतकोटे नमोऽस्तुते नमस्ते शून्यता गर्भा बुद्धबोधे नमोऽस्तुते बुद्धराग नमस्तेस्तु बुद्धकाम नमो नमः बुद्धप्रीत नमस्तुभ्यं बुद्धमोद नमो नमः बुद्धस्मित नमस्तुभ्यं बुद्धहास नमो नमः बुद्धवाच नमस्तुभ्यं बुद्धभाव नमो नमः अभवोद्भव नमस्तुभ्यं नमस्ते बुद्धसम्भवः गगनोद्भव नमस्तुभ्यं नमस्ते ज्ञानसम्भवः मायाजाल नमस्तुभ्यं नमस्ते बुद्धनाटकः नमस्ते सर्वसर्वेभ्यो ज्ञानकाय नमोऽस्तुते इति पञ्चतथागतस्तुति ज्ञानगातः पञ्च मंत्रविन्यासः ओम सर्वधर्मभाव स्वभाव विशुद्ध वज्र अम अः प्रकृति परिशुद्ध सर्वधर्मायादुत सर्वतथागत ज्ञानकाय मंजुश्री परिशुद्धितम् उपादायेति अः सर्व तथागत हृदय हर हर ओम हूं ह्री भगवन् ज्ञानमूर्तिवागीश्वर महावाच सर्वधर्मा गगनामल सुपरिशुद्ध धर्म धातु ज्ञान गर्भ आ इति मंत्र विन्यास उपसंहार अथ वज्रधर श्रीमन् हर्षटुष्टः कृताञ्जलिः प्रणम्य नाथं संबुद्धं भगवन्तं तथागतम् अन्यैश्च बहुभिर्नाथैर्गुह्येन्द्रैर्वज्रपाणिभिः सासद्धं क्रोधराजानैः प्रोवाचोचैरिदं वचः अनुमोदामहि नाथ साधु साधु सुभाषितं कृतोऽस्माकं महानर्थः सम्यक् सम्बोधिप्रापकः जगतश्चाप्यनर्थस्य विमुक्तिफलकाङ्क्षिणः श्रेयो मार्गो विशुद्धोऽयं मायाजालनयोदितः गम्भीरोदारवैपुल्यो महर्तो जगदट्टकद्भुतानां विषयो ह्येष सम्यक् सम्बुद्धभाषितः इति उपसंहारगातः पञ्च आर्यमायाजालषोडशसाहस्रिका महायोगतत्रन्तः पाटिसमाधिजालपतलात् भगवतः श्रीशक्यमुनिना भाषिता भगवतो मञ्जुश्रीज्ञानसत्त्वस्याः परमार्था नाम संगीति परिसमाप्ता ये धर्मा हेतु प्रभवा हेतुं तेषं तथागतो ह्यवदत् तेषं च यो निरोध एवं वादी महाश्रमणः स्वाहा
Okay, so we take a break, or should we just stay? After break, we take a bodhisattva vow for those who wish to, rain or shine. Okay, and the
Thank you so much. Yeah, no problem. Actually, I'm going to ask you later if you could do Okay, sure. And I can make you a cup of beer into coffee out here. I'd be delighted to make you a cup of coffee.
Australian long black.
However you like it. I can, yeah. I'm a bit of a nerd.
Okay.
No, no, I'll put later. Okay.
Okay, Bodhisattva vow, because this is a special occasion. Very briefly, we have already taken refuge this morning. So, visualizing all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of us. Um, just briefly, think that you will take Dharma as your way, the path, Buddha as your teacher or the guide, and Sangha as your companion. And thinking that, please repeat these words. Changchup Nyingpur Chi Jipar Sanje Namla Japsu Chi Chö Dang Changchup Senpai Solang Dejin Japsu Chi. Okay, so now the main body of the Bodhisattva vow. And yes, the Bodhisattva vow, fundamentally, I encourage you to take, because this is one vow. Fundamentally, it is the vow to do whatever you can to awaken yourself and others. And especially, we are following the tradition of the Madhyamika. The practice of the Bodhisattva, we will apply, or we will try to emulate, or we will try to apply the Bodhisattva practice according to an individual's capacity and ability. So there is no like a fixed or mandatory set of vows, but fundamentally this wish to awaken others, that is like must. And however you want to put it, to awaken all sentient beings from this darkness of duality, to awaken all sentient beings from the nightmare of samsara, to awaken all sentient beings to this fact that they have the Buddha nature, to awaken all sentient beings to the fact that they have never, even for a moment, departed from the Dharmakaya Kuntu Sangpo, Samantabhadra, to be to awaken to the fact that all sentient beings have all the Buddha qualities intact, nothing missing or damaged. So so different version of attitude or intention. So with this, please, I will also join with you in this special occasion to take the Bodhisattva vow. Symbolically, please recite this after me. Chitar ngonji, deshe ji, changchup tuni, jebatang, changchup sembi, lapala, teta rimjin, nepatar, tejin drola, pendendu, changchup semni, je jishin, tejin tuni, lapalang, rimbajindu, labarji. Chitar nganji, deshe ji, changchup tuni, jebatang, changchup sembe, lapala, teta rimjin, nepatar, tejin drola, pendendu, changchup semni, jejishin, tejin tuni, lapalang, rimbajindu, labarji. Chitar nganji, deshe ji, changchup tuni, jebatang, changchup sembi, lapala, teta rimjin, nepatar, tejin drola, pendendu, changchup semni, jejishin, tejin tuni, lapalang, rimbajindu, labarji. There is no greater kindness, mind of kindness than this mind of wishing to awaken others. There is no kindness or a virtuous intention that is more undeceiving than this mind of wishing to awaken others, because all kindness no matter how it comes in the form or shape, such as wishing people to be wealthy, healthy, prosperous. First of all, they are all subjective, and also they are uncertain. What makes one happy doesn't make others happy. What makes oneself happy today doesn't make you oneself happy tomorrow, so on and so forth. Also, all the so-called cause of the happiness, they themselves are dependent on so many cause and other causing conditions. So we are so codependent to so many cause and conditions. Therefore, all these kind of kindness are very deceiving and uncertain, and there's fallacy. Whereas wishing to awaken to the truth, to the reality of the phenomena, that is never going to deceive. During the progress of the path, and also at the end, all the Buddhas of the past, present, and the future also took this path, this as Chandrakirti said, wishing to awaken others is like a seed. It is also like the ground where you plant this seed. Wishing to awaken others is also like a fertilizer, like the water, like the space, like the fence. Wishing to awaken others is like the shoot, like the stem, and wishing to awaken others is also the fruit itself. So, awakening mind is the seed, shoot, and the fruit, ground, path, and the result. And this is something that we can already apply right this moment today. This is why as Shantadeva said, there may be many powerful gods like Indras, Brahmas, Shiva, Asuras, but none of these powerful gods or Asuras can give you the most powerful, most undeceiving gift, this mind of awakening. All sentient beings, no matter how defiled and how anxious, how emotional, how negative we are, there's always a chance or a time that kindness, like a lightning in the dark, at times it can occur. We just have to take advantage of this rare but precious, kind mind of awakening all beings. We can generate this. Since you have now taken the Bodhisattva vow, think that today your life has become fruitful. Today, the purpose of becoming a human have been actualized. You have become the heir of the Buddha. Now you will apply since you have become the children of the Buddha, you will apply, you will take heed or pay attention to the family duty, which is to help awaken others. This kindness mind that arises within us today is like finding a jewel among the rags or garbages. Today, since we have now taken the Bodhisattva vow, we can declare this by declaring to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and also especially by declaring this to all sentient beings as another means to strengthen the bodhicitta or the awakened mind. Let us now declare in the presence of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, I have taken this Bodhisattva vow. Therefore, O gods and asuras, rejoice. Immediately after taking the Bodhisattva vow, let us now apply the bodhicitta and bodhisattva activity. For a few moments, let us wish that from now, from this very moment, every thoughts and actions that I take, including seemingly mundane ones like breathing in and out, sleeping, eating, just loitering, doing the mundane things, or seemingly important things like taking care of our health, eating right food, taking right medicine, trying to have good lifestyle, or even seemingly mistaken actions, aggression, desire, ignorance. Wish that may all this, one way or another, lead us to actualize the bodhicitta, and one way or another ends up becoming a cause of awakening others. Even mundane, very mundane part of our life, such as sitting and standing, breathing in and out. So please think of that. And wish that all sentient beings have the bodhicitta. For those who have the bodhicitta, their bodhicitta to be matured. That all sentient beings never abandon the bodhicitta. That they will always stay away from conditions that will distance themselves from the bodhicitta. And then pray that all the bodhisattvas of the past, present and the future, that their wish will be fulfilled. Whatever the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas wish for the sentient beings, that it actually materialize. So think about, so please think of these things, a few moments. And then, as symbolically, after taking the Bodhisattva vow, symbolic sort of practice of the ultimate bodhicitta, watch this moment, thoughts, sensations, feelings, not make any judgment. Just acknowledge. And since we have been talking about sadhana, and since we have just taken the Bodhisattva vow, let us tie this up together for the benefit of all sentient beings, to awaken all sentient beings. Let us think that although due to my habit I keep on condemning myself, having pure perception to myself and others and the things around, in reality, we are kayas, jhanas, devas, or in other words, I am, or we are Avalokiteshvara, the Lord of the three realms, source of all the universe, the embodiment of all the compassion of all the Buddhas. everything comes and dwells and goes within this Avalokiteshvara, this me, Avalokiteshvara. I am not a man, I'm not a woman, I'm not white, black, brown, red, blue. I'm not tall, short. I have no directions. I'm not bound by past, present, and the future. I'm not small, I'm not big. I'm beyond all that. I am Avalokiteshvara. And yet, not knowing this, sentient beings, not only I am Avalokiteshvara, all sentient beings are Avalokiteshvara, but yet, not knowing this, sentient beings, they project different realms. Gods think that they are gods. Human beings that they are human beings. Animals, they consider themselves. They act or think like animals. So in order to awaken them from these projections, let us chant 6 syllables that will purify 5 or 6 projections. So please repeat. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay. Since you have also received Nyingti Gyabji, most of you, let us chant a kind of an exclusive mantra 3 times. Om Mani Padme Hum Shi. Om Mani Padme Hum Shi. Om Mani Padme Hum Shi. Okay, let us dedicate this merit to all sentient beings. As Tangtong Gyalpo said, may this illusory merit that I, the illusory I, created or accumulated, I dedicate this to illusory sentient beings so that they will actualize the illusory Buddhahood. Okay. Just to continue from the Sampanakrama, and actually now both Upanakrama and the Sampanakrama, just a very short one. This is perhaps, this language I may be using more from the Nyingma tradition, okay? Well, it doesn't mean that the others don't have, but Nyingmas talk this a lot. Because there's a kind of a reason for that. We can discuss this later. I mean, if you, I don't know, maybe not important, but all the Buddha's path, you can sort of categorize into 2 categories. Jema and Jeminji Lam. Jema is like fabricated, made up, make believe, altered, tailored, custom made, created. Yes, So there's that. And then there is completely not made up, genuine, absolutely like as it is, not created, not fabricated, not at all. Now actually shamatha vipassana is probably a good example for you. Shamatha tend to be what we call fabricated. So for instance, I'm talking big generalization, okay? So there is this, even things like sitting straight, there is a altered, altered, made, discipline, is important. This, by the way, it sounds like the created path or the fabricated path is a sort of a lesser thing. And the non-fabricated is the higher, but it's not like that. They're equally important. So this is really important for you to know, never to look down. So of course, Upanakrama that we have been talking, like visualizations, lights going in and out, all this is fabricated, altered, tailored. This is why different deities, different color, different shape, however you want. On that day, actually, if you have time, you can change, change the sadhanas every day. I think, what do you call it? There are, let's say you have received 8 initiations of the 8 bodhisattvas. You feel like a Manjushri sadhana today? You do that. It's like in the restaurant. You'll want pasta today, then eat pasta. Tomorrow, maybe something else. That is, you actually, technically you can do that because all the yidam are actually one essence. But because it has to benefit you, right? You are a path dweller. Path dweller means you have drawback, you have flaws. And one of the big flaw is your old habit. So we are now inserting a new habit of visualization. So lamas would tend to advise you, okay, you should stick with one. And it's a good advice. But technically, actually, there is no reason why you can't do all. But sticking with one, perhaps, especially for the beginners, is maybe more productive because you are supposed to combat with your old habit. Otherwise, you will really go through the yidam schizophrenia. And I think there's a lot of, and this is really, it's very big. Even the most seasoned practitioners, they ask these questions. Oh, I feel like Tara. I want to do Tara. Can I do Tara? Yeah, why not? Especially when they come to me, I can see they get so frustrated because human beings are so strange. I usually say, yeah, do whatever you want. They don't like this. But I'm sticking with this. I know that some lamas say, you must do only this. But also they don't like this. Because they are secretly wanting to do, standing up. If a lama tell them, I'm doing a yidam practice, that the yidam is sitting all the time, I feel like I can see this student wants to do a standing posture deity. But, technically, on the ultimate level, no difference. But anyway, what I want to say is this, so even Upanakrama is actually more like a fabricated, altered, sort of make believe. Sampanakrama? No, in general. But there are a lot of, I would say, sadhanas. Some sadhanas are like 90% Upanakrama, 10% Sampanakrama. Also the same thing. There are many like overlapped, depending on, if you are doing a Manjushri from the Druptakunti, for instance, more likely it will be Upanakrama. But having said that, there is a lot of Sampanakrama involved, such as swallowing the letter D. If you are doing Vajrayogini, then it may be more Sampanakram. Anyway, the path of fabricated, altered, fake, you can call it, fake and not fake. Very important, both. Because the fake ones are really good because you can relate. That's why it's so important. If you can just appreciate the design of these paths, you will really think these designers really are incredible. Just thinking of this, you would really accept existence of omniscience. This requires omniscience to design these things. Can't just made it up. This one, you don't need to upgrade. It's so good like that. So that's it. That's what I wanted to say. It's getting hot, so we will end very soon. But since we have taken the Bodhisattva vow, we are going to celebrate, and I don't know whether our Indian friends are ready or whether Annabelle is ready, whoever. Who's ready? The Bollywood people ready or the German? Who? Prashant, you ready? No? Praveen, you? Are you ready?
Class in the evening, right?
Oh, really? Okay, then maybe we can ask Annabelle. Where's Annabelle? Sorry, it's always like this. Can you come? Do you want to do the Carmen? Okay. I'm going to, ask the Buddha to give me the rose flower. Are you doing the Carmen? This time, can you give your rose to the people? Do you need the rose or no, right? You want? Okay. they are in love with you, right? They are in love with you, right? Anyway, it doesn't matter. You are in love. It's okay, it's beer. Doesn't matter. It's not like Berlin.
Et c'est bien vain qu'on l'appelle, s'il lui convient de refuser. Rien n'est fait mais dans son prière, l'un parle bien, l'autre se tait. Et c'est l'autre que je préfère, il n'a rien dit, mais il me plaît. Il n'a jamais connu de loi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je te prends garde à toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je t'aime, si je t'aime, prends garde à toi.
And we will move to dining area if you want. The 2 tables, beautiful tables are kept. Lot of good stuff there for fundraising, for the girls' education, while Lotus Outreach. Thank you. If you want, you can come to dining area. Thank you. And we will meet afternoon.